the highest non-athletic and non-academic honor a Queen's student can receive. Every fall, the rector opens the nomination process and chairs the selection committee, and the office receives nominations from dozens of worthy candidates every year. The committee bases its decision on a rigorous process that includes interview and meticulous scrutiny of nomination packages, including the most beautifully written letters from connections of each nominee. And we do this to ensure that the students who are recognized have really truly impacted the community in the most meaningful ways. So receiving this award comes with the induction into the Tricolour Society, which is an exclusive society of our most accomplished alumni as a university, whose ranks have now grown to more than 500 people. Tonight, we will welcome 10 new members to the society, 4 from 2020 and 6 from 2021. It promises to be an exciting evening, and we will be beginning with remarks from our provost, Dr. Mark Green, and a member of the Tricolour Society, Leanne Carver, who is a member of the class of Sci 95. And then we'll move on to introduce the 2020 inductees and pay individual tribute to each of those folks. Immediately afterward, we'll do the same for our 2021 inductees. And following each of these tributes, we'll start the less formal part of this evening. So each of our inductees will be available in their own breakout room, and attendees tonight will have the opportunity to celebrate with them in smaller groups, so you can hop from breakout room to breakout room if you'd like, and we'll kind of wrap up that informal part around 9 p.m. So now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker. Dr. Mark Green is our current provost and vice principal academic. He's the university's chief academic, budget, and operating officer. He completed his undergraduate work here in 1987 after earning his doctorate at the University of Cambridge. He returned to Queen's to undertake a postdoctoral fellowship, and he's been here ever since. He's an international research scholar in structural engineering whose work focuses on sustainable engineering techniques and enabling structures to withstand extreme conditions. He's a member of the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte and a champion of equity, diversity, and inclusion and indigeneity throughout the university and beyond. Please welcome Provost Mark Green.
Thank you very much, Alex, for those kind words, and it's great to see you again as well, despite being virtually, and welcome all of the award winners tonight as well. First, I want to start mentioning a bit about Dr. Agnes Benidickson, the woman whose name graces these awards, and she certainly was a shining example for all of us to follow. An alumna, a trailblazer, a true leader. Most of all, though, she was a volunteer, as are those we are honoring tonight. Throughout her life, she was generous with her time, serving in numerous activities such as the Canadian Red Cross, the Canadian Council on Social Development, and notably for 16 years, from 1980 through to 1996, the 10th Chancellor of Queen's University. In that time, I had the pleasure of getting to know Dr. Benidickson. I received my bachelor's degree at her hands, and I also served on University Council for 4 years under her leadership. Agnes Benidickson certainly is a tough act to follow. I think actually I thought she was Chancellor for life back when I was on University Council. But the students we honor tonight do truly belong in her company. They are the best of the best. Students who, like Dr. Benidickson, have dedicated their time at Queen's to selfless service and invaluable contributions to our campus, our community, and our world. These 10 students, 4 from 2020 and 6 from 2021, did not seek out recognition. They were nominated by their peers, and that's certainly something special. And I would also like to take a few moments to acknowledge all the nominators for bringing these outstanding and incredible students to our attention. As nominators, you saw something extraordinary: dedication, service, impact. And you made certain that that was recognized. For those contributions, we are all grateful. These 10 students now join more than 500 alumni in the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Society. They will forever be known as impactful contributors to our community at Queen's. But their contributions are a little different from the contributions of their peers. And this year, their contributions are truly unprecedented. Sort of thought I'd get away from saying that word, but here it comes again. Because we've just never seen times like this. You know, when you think about everything that the COVID-19 pandemic has imposed upon all of us, the isolation, the remote working arrangements, all of those challenges have deterred many, but not those we are honoring tonight. They were undeterred. They worked through all of these difficult conditions and they made life better for all of us. And tonight, we're lucky to celebrate them. I would like to introduce our next speaker as well. Alex mentioned earlier, who is Leanne Carver from Science 95, so another engineer, but is a member of the Tricolour Society. She's also permanent year president of her graduating class. And as a student, she served as the Engineering Society's board of directors. She was the bar manager at Clark Hall Pub, which we all know is a very special position. And she started a mentorship program with Science 54. And today, she continues to make an impact as a vice president of supply chain integration, Asia operations at Canadian Tire, and also as a very active volunteer. Please welcome Leanne Carver. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Green. Congratulations to all of the Tricolour recipients. Winning the Tricolour Award means that you stood out through the nature of your contribution to the university. And this differentiation was possible because you have a gift. Now, technically, a gift is defined as something bestowed upon you without any expectation of anything in return. And each of you has honored your gift by leveraging your capacities and your talents to drive change. Your gift was the spark that allowed you to ignite actions that built inclusivity and a sense of belonging. You amplified voices and widened accessibility to opportunities, communities, and services. And with your special gift, your spark, you lit the world on fire at Queen's. Bravo. So think back for a second. How did you feel? Was it exhilarating to watch others take your lead, to watch an individual transition from isolation and defeat to hope? You did that. You enabled that light through your gift. You don't catch fire. You are a leader who uses their gift, their spark, to create the fire. And now you're migrating into the next phase of your journey. It could be anything, a job, continued studies, a relocation, and woven into the fabric of that next phase is change that you can't see coming yet. And some of those changes will be unexpectedly delightful. Finding a soulmate to live part of your life with, earning a promotion and getting that rush with more responsibility, or experiencing progress towards equalization. Some of the changes coming your way will hurt. And that old cliche, life's not fair, that's going to feel personal at times. And you'll experience loss. So my purpose in being here today is to insist that in your moments of joy and in your moments of frustration, that you protect your gift. Protect your gift. Make sure that your spark still has a glowing ember at its core. Do not let the light go out. Do not let that spark get extinguished. Cup your hands around your spark and protect it. Because your gift, your spark, that will continue to define who you are, and it will improve the lives of others. I received the Tricolour Award in 1995 when I was 22 years old. I was graduating as a female engineer, and I had embraced the Queen's experience to drive involvement amongst my peers, to create cross-generational mentoring. It was amazing. And protecting my spark for the last 25 years has been interesting. And I was tested early on. About 4 weeks after my last exam at Queen's, I moved to Toronto for my first job in industry. It was a happy time. I was the first individual in my whole extended family to ever attend university. And I had graduated and I had a full-time job and I was moving to the big city. It was a moment. And when I got there, I embraced the opportunity. In my company's employee orientation, I signed up for volunteer events. I joined a sports club. I was going to share my gift. I was going to light a fire. But then about 3 weeks later, my mother died unexpectedly without warning. And that threw a bucket of water on top of that spark and that fire that I was trying to light. But thousands of people lose loved ones every day. And most recently, our exposure to COVID-19 has magnified daily loss. Digging out of shocking periods will be easier if you can leverage your spark to give. It has heat and it has warmth. And through the Tricolour Award, you have shown that you were made to give. Giving is a part of who you are. So when you have those moments in life, when you feel great, don't forget to give. And when you have those moments in life where you are being challenged, take strength from your spark and give. It is a wonderful balm for your wounds and a very solid anchor to keep you grounded. Your spark will continue to build your confidence and it will help you to stay true to who you are. So protect your gift and keep giving. And as you take the next steps in the journey of life, we'll be watching for you. And we will see the glow from the sparks within you. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much for those words, Leanne. That was truly beautiful. And that thank you will lead me directly into another thank you. I also want to thank everybody who had a hand in ensuring that our 2020 inductees got the recognition that they so richly deserve. So that includes all of our nominators who Dr. Green already mentioned, everyone who took the time to write a letter of reference, but it also includes the folks who are a member of the selection committee. So in the 2020 selection committee, that included Eric Flowers, Julia Leader, Esther Eisen, Christina Miakasheva, Jeremy Gardner, Caitlin Douglas, and Felix Leclerc. Having said that, I would now like to welcome the 2020 inductees to the Tricolour Society. And those members include Liam Tharp from the class of Science 19, Beatrice Herr, who is part of Art Sci 20, Jared Donater, who's part of Art Sci 20, Chase Perkins, who is part of Art Sci 20.
Congratulations, Liam, and hello to everyone. My name is Leah Burke, and I am a Sci 21 grad. Liam is a dependable and strategic leader, and I was fortunate to witness his ability to continuously guide the board of directors to success. Liam is known to lift the spirits of everyone around him when he enters a room. He is a determined, capable, and truly inspiring person. Liam is also an incredibly valuable member of the Queen's community, and I am certain that his encouraging nature has led to growing additional leaders who will benefit the university and all students.
Good evening, everyone, and a special welcome to my friend and one of the award recipients at tonight's ceremony, Liam Tharp. It is not often that one has the privilege to meet and work with a person like Liam. He inspires those around him to serve the community wherever possible and to do so with kindness and empathy. He is selfless, dedicated, hardworking, and caring. Moreover, he does all of this without expecting or seeking recognition for his contributions. Congratulations, Liam.
Hey Liam, it's me, Jess. I just wanted to say congratulations on winning the Tricolour Award, and hopefully we can see each other in person when it's safe to do so. Liam is unstoppable. When he puts his mind to something, he is not a force to be reckoned with. He will truly do everything that he can to come through for his peers, and this is the reason that he's made such an amazing impact at Queen's. Liam has this rare energy and personality about him that not only lights up a room, but it motivates everyone around him. I've seen Liam handle some of the most tough and difficult situations in his former job when we were colleagues, and my favorite thing about him is that he always managed to have such a positive energy and attitude through it all. He's got this drive to improve himself and his surroundings that never lets up, and that's probably one of my most favorite things about him. It's either that or his obsession with Microsoft Excel. It's kind of hard to choose between them.
Hi Liam. So my name is Monroe, and I've had the privilege of being friends with Liam for quite some time now. And in that time, I've been able to see just how deeply Liam cares for the Queen's community. Liam displays selflessness in every single thing that he does. Liam's willingness to put more on his own plate to lighten the load of another's is truly something special, and that's what I think makes him so incredibly deserving of this award. So congratulations, Liam. I miss you very much, and I hope that I get to see you soon.
That was wonderful. Okay, after that very uplifting video, I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about Liam in detail after you heard what a wonderful person he is. So Liam Tharp's legacy at Queen's is a legacy of leadership. Whether he was serving on the AMS as board chair and as VP operations and CEO, or running EngLinks, the Engineering Society's tutoring service, he served with a dedication, intelligence, and commitment to excellence that was matched only by his kindness and his determination to positively impact as many students as possible. His legacy includes planning and managing the JDUC referendum and the revitalization project, where he developed the model for the new JDUC that was approved by the Board of Trustees. The new JDUC will be a gathering place for Queen's students for decades to come. Liam has worked equally hard for today's students. When the provincial government announced its controversial student choice initiative and the AMS faced a significant funding cut, Liam enacted changes that would ensure that his fellow students wouldn't be hurt. He reconfigured the staffing model to create more part-time managerial positions, giving more students the opportunity to earn income and gain leadership experiences. And he helped create $1 million bursary program to aid students who needed help covering these additional fees. In his home faculty, Liam demonstrated his leadership by running EngLinks peer tutoring service. In less than a year, he doubled the service's revenues, creating more opportunities for students to earn a living and make tutoring resources available to upper year students for the first time. And while his contributions are impressive, how he's conducted himself while making these contributions is even more impressive. His nominators describe him as gracious, kind, selfless, an excellent listener, a first-rate friend, and driven by a higher purpose. As one nominator said, he is always willing to put more on his own plate to lighten another's load. For his work ethic, his integrity, and his impactful achievements, I am very excited to welcome Liam Tharp into the Tricolour Society.
Oh, sorry, it's a little bit chaotic on my screen. I can't tell if people can see the bubbles. Thank you so much. I was not expecting the video. It's a bit of a weird way to celebrate, but I really want to say thank you so much to everyone who I got a chance to work with over the past couple of years. Being a year removed now, I've had a chance to really reflect and appreciate all of the people that I got a chance to work with. And I was privileged to have some awesome experiences, and I am so grateful to not just the people I got to work with, especially my nominators. A special thank you to Monroe for managing the nomination. And thank you to my family and friends who are here right now. We are maintaining appropriate social distancing, but I could not be more honored to be here.
When I found out that Beatrice was going to receive the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award, I was absolutely thrilled. I wasn't surprised because Beatrice impressed us from the very moment she stepped into the BISC as a first year. Beatrice was one of those students who is utterly memorable for all the right reasons. I always feel a warm glow of fondness when I hear her name, and I'm not surprised that she's continued to impress people throughout her career at Queen's. Although Beatrice was a science student, she connected with all the students on our campus, and she really challenged herself to engage outside of her discipline. In fact, I understand that's one of the reasons that she has been given this award, because she recognized that some of the international students at the BISC were feeling left out of the clubs and activities, and she took action to remedy that. She founded the Asian Heritage Club and bridged that divide to create a sense of belonging where it hadn't previously existed. So she will be remembered by many people at the BISC, and I don't think anybody will be particularly surprised that she's being honoured with this award. It's really well deserved, and I'm very, very proud to have been part of Beatrice's journey. Well done, Beatrice.
Okay. Thank you. Moving into a little bit of background again on where those beautiful words come from. So Beatrice Her is one of those student leaders who sees a need and jumps in to fill it. When she learned that her grandmother was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, she read about how stem cell transplants and their potential to treat Parkinson's patients. Today, she's an active board member and a former president of the Canadian Association of Research in Regenerative Medicine, and spends her time raising money and awareness for stem cell research. Stem cell research is just one of the causes that Beatrice has adopted for her own after becoming aware of the need. While studying at the Bader International Study Center, Beatrice learned that some of the international students were feeling left out of clubs, activities, and social life. She founded the Asian Heritage Club to bridge the divide and create a sense of belonging where it did not exist previously. In the process, she became a voice for all Asian students who felt underrepresented on the campus. She was particularly active in Han Voice, a club that advocates for North Koreans living in Canada, and she worked to debunk the myths and stereotypes surrounding North Korean refugees. But Beatrice's activism does not stop there. She is one of Queens's most visible and valuable human rights and equity activists, bringing her relentless energy and positive attitude to causes including health as a human right, restoring Indigenous rights, fighting racial and gender oppression, environmental exploitation, and the abuse of power right on campus. She ran every aspect of Down There, a theatrical production for the Access Equity Commission dedicated to showcasing moving personal accounts of power, privilege, and oppression. And after backpacking through Africa, she founded a volunteer abroad program that places students in orphanages and medical clinics across the continent. For all the needs she has seen and helped fill, and for the countless lives she has improved, it is an immense honor to welcome Beatrice Her into the Tricolour Society.
Thank you so much. I want to thank all my parents and my family, especially. I think a lot of you can empathize as well. Coming from a first-generation immigrant family, it hasn't been the easiest. And I really want to thank my parents for fighting through all the racism and language barriers, financial struggles, and really telling us above all things that you can still achieve everything that you set your mind to, despite all the hardships that they had to go through. And I also want to thank all my team members at CARM and all the equity people that I had to work with. And I think this award is really given to me and all those people whose efforts have allowed me to achieve all the things that I did. And I also want to thank all my friends for standing with me against all odds. And I know I haven't been the best friend, and sometimes I can be really occupied with my goals and all the thoughts. And I really want to thank them for taking all my shit and supporting me through all of it. And thank you so much. And thank you to all the award committees. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Callum Stevenson, and I would like to congratulate all of the recipients today, but most importantly, I would like to congratulate my close friend Jared Denotter. I've had the pleasure of being a peer, a friend, and a housemate of Jared's over the past 5 years now at Queen's, and if I had to describe Jared, words that immediately come to mind are compassionate, uplifting, resilient, selfless, and a huge smile. Jared has devoted his entire career here at Queen's to bettering others around him through his extracurricular involvement. Whether it is through his various roles in student government, his commitment to helping those less fortunate, or his efforts to foster a welcoming and inclusive environment for his peers, Jared has always prioritized the betterment of others over himself. I can't think of a more deserving recipient of the Tricolour Award based on the fact that everything Jared has done here at Queen's has been with the purpose of improvement. Whether this has been through improving one individual's day, improving an underserved population's opportunities, or improving the overall student experience, Jared is the most genuine and gifting person I have had the pleasure of getting to know in my time here, and I couldn't be happier for him. Congrats, Jared.
So unfortunately, Jared is unable to attend today, but we would still like to recognize him just as properly for his contributions. So not long ago, Jared Denotter was looking to raise money for the Happy Soul Project. He organized an event, Soaring for the Happy Soul Project, where he and a few others skydived from 13,000 feet. In the process, they raised more than $3,000 to help kids at KGH who are battling severe diseases. That's one example of the lengths that Jared will go to for the causes he believes in. His friends call him diligent, caring, devoted, passionate, determined, kind, and simply put, amazing. In first year, he became active in the Physical Health Education and Kinesiology Students Association. As a first-year rep, and later as a junior academics commissioner, as vice president, and eventually president. This year, he served the entire Queen's student body as president of the AMS. Perhaps the most impressive thing about Jared is how he leads. In addition to dedicating countless hours to his advocacy and representative duties, Jared has made it his mission to positively impact every student in his community. As one of his nominators wrote, Jared fosters an atmosphere of friendship, acceptance, and support that, along with laughter and smiles, follows him wherever he goes. He invests time into getting to know and learn from every individual he meets and works with. Jared expanded his circle further through his work at the Clark Hall Pub, where he was a role model to everyone he encountered. Quick to lend a hand to his coworkers, ensure that everyone had a safe walk home after work. And he demonstrated a remarkable ability to forge meaningful, memorable relationships from the simple act of serving a drink to a patron. And as his impact extends far beyond the Queen's campus community. In addition to his studies, his job at Clark, and his student government contributions, Jared gave generously of his time and of himself to organizations serving people with disabilities, including Bobbing Buddies, Extra Awesome, the Winter Adaptive Games, Motion Ball, and the Happy Soul Project, where he served as president. And he does it all with grace and humility that have made people take notice. As another one of his nominators wrote, Jared is a man for the people. He will take the shirt off his back for you without hesitation and will always greet you with the biggest smile, no matter how busy or stressed he may be. He is one of those one-of-a-kind people that come around very few times in a lifetime. For his dedication, commitment, and devotion to the students of Queen's and the broader community, it is my pleasure to welcome Jared Denotter into the Tricolour Society.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I graduated from Queen's University with a degree in political studies in 2020, and I co-nominated Chase Perkins for this award. Hi Chase, so happy to be here. Wish it was in person, but those are the times that we're living in. Chase is a hardworking, dedicated, brave, and intelligent advocate for change and social justice within her own community and those that she loves learning about. She's a daydreamer with big goals for herself, her friends, and her family. And above all that she is, she has a great taste in music, has the best book recommendations, and always has incredible taste in fashion. Since stepping foot onto Queen's campus, Chase has been involved in many extracurricular activities. Most notably, she was elected to serve as president of the Arts and Science Undergraduate Society. Chase has poured her heart and soul into her service into ASIS and has faithfully represented her peers. Chase has worked in collaboration with other student leaders on campus to advocate for issues for students such as the fall reading break, cuts to post-secondary education funding, and also helped to develop policy to combat sexual violence on campus. The pillars of the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award are service, leadership, and character, which I know that Chase embodies to a T. She is dedicated to leading through listening, always leaving an open door for everybody in the Queen's community to share their experience and ideas. She has always taken care to lead by example, believing that leaders cannot expect anything from those they lead if they do not hold themselves first to the highest of standards. In every environment that Chase finds herself in, she makes sure that those around her are looked after and that everyone's ideas are valued and considered equally.
So you already got a little taste, but to give you more information on Chase, if you were looking for one word to describe her, it might be inspiring. From the moment she first stepped on campus, Chase has been inspiring her fellow students, prospective students, staff members, alumni, and senior administrators. As a campus tour guide, Chase was often the face of Queens for prospective students and their families. Her compassion, empathy, and willingness to go the extra mile and make people feel welcome, as well as her genuine excitement and enthusiasm, inspired many students to accept their offers to Queens. As an active participant in student government, Chase has proven an inspiration to many. She started by volunteering at the program level, serving on the Political Studies Department Council. After that, she became active in the AMS, winning Volunteer of the Year in 2019. And from there, she moved on to the Arts and Science Undergraduate Society, where she is perhaps best known. As president of ASIS, Chase oversaw a student advocacy organization with 10 employees and more than 2,000 volunteers. She impressed all of them as a passionate representative for the university's largest faculty and its students. And she used the position's platform to advocate for change on the issues that were most important to her: ending sexual violence, expanding student wellness services, improving access to financial aid, and creating more professional development opportunities for her fellow students. And while she has impressed everyone she's encountered with her ambition, professionalism, thoughtfulness, work ethic, and strategic acumen, she impressed even more because of the example she set for others. As one of her nominators said, she is compassionate, caring, honest, thoughtful, diligent, and genuine. She leads by example. She pours her heart and soul into each initiative that she plans, and the results are always outstanding. For her tireless advocacy, her compassionate leadership, her commitment to her beliefs, and her ability to inspire everyone around her, we are thrilled to welcome Chase to the Tricolour Society.
Thank you so much. That is very kind. It's definitely hard to explain how much of an honor this is, especially being named as a recipient of this award among some of the most phenomenal people who have walked the halls of Queen's University and have made such important and impactful change. Thank you to all of my nominators, and in particular, my good friend Luca, who led the process. Thank you to anyone and everyone who I encountered at Queen's who sort of gave me the chance to make the changes that I was able to, especially Dr. Barbara Crow, who is here today, and to my friends and family who are here and not here, Kate, Vic, Adriana, Tash, my mom and dad. You're among the people who believed in me when it seemed like not a lot of other people did. So thank you so much. I owe a lot of this to you.
Okay. So a bit of a break here, I want to congratulate our 2020 Tricolour Society inductees, and it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. Claire Gummo, who's a part of the class of Art Sci 17, is a member of the Tricolour Society. She is a committed sexual violence prevention response advocate, and while at Queen's, Claire led the development and implementation of a university-wide bystander intervention program and contributed to the creation of Queen's University's landmark sexual violence policy. Claire went on to earn a Master of Science in Global Governance and Diplomacy and a Master of Public Policy at the University of Oxford, where she studied as a Rhodes Scholar. Originally from Calgary, Claire recently joined the Federal Public Service through the Recruitment of Policy Leaders program. Please welcome Claire Gummo.
Good evening. Thank you so much for that kind introduction. I'm honored to be here with you all tonight. I recall what a special night this was for my loved ones and I 4 years ago, and I'm grateful to get to spend it with all of you. I was asked to share a story or a piece of advice with the Tricolour recipients that we're honoring this evening. On reflection, I'd like to share an observation that someone shared with me a few years ago. I was having a conversation with a young woman, someone who works in social justice and change. She said she'd noticed this characteristic in people that really make a difference in their communities. This characteristic surprised me. It wasn't that these people were the loudest person in the room, or the person with the most prestigious credentials, or even necessarily the person holding the leadership position. Rather, they had what she described as a furrowed brow. Now, if you Google furrowed brow, like I had to after this conversation, you'll find plenty of Google images of men looking perturbed. If you look it up in the Oxford English Dictionary, you'll find the following definition: a forehead that has lines in the skin, usually caused by worry. But of course, neither of these meanings capture her intent. What she meant is that people who make an impact in their community are united by an unwillingness to simply accept things the way they are. When confronted with an environment, a class, a policy, a structure, rather than accepting it outright, they look at it with curiosity. They question it. Who does it serve? How could it be made better, more equitable, more inclusive? To me, this encapsulates the spirit of the Tricolour. You are all community members that arrived at Queen's and chose not to simply accept things for how they are. Rather, you imagined and then enacted changes that made a real material difference in the lives of the people around you and the people that will come after you. As I said, I was asked to share a piece of advice with you this evening. I would offer you this: no matter where you go, what step you take next, do not lose your furrowed brow. Retain your capacity to look at the environment around you with an eye to making things better. Now, of course, there are plenty of things that can get in the way of this, imposter syndrome for one. This last year, I started my dream job working on feminist approaches to public policy, a topic I'd studied for years. And yet I confess I found myself straight out of graduate school in a new role that often left me feeling woefully unequipped and inexperienced. My History 121 course had prepared me for all manner of Foucauldian analysis, but it had less to say on the practical realities of starting a career in the midst of a global crisis. However, I have found, as I've gone on with my work and worked to overcome the instinct to say, I don't know enough, I'm not experienced enough, I'm not old enough, and I reminded myself that I could think critically and I could ask questions. I was able to make a real contribution to issues I cared about. I found myself remembering back to the beginnings of my time at Queen's and at Oxford, how nervous and unsure I found myself at first, and how slowly but surely I began to notice ways, big and small, that things could be better for fellow survivors, and how I managed over time to gain the confidence necessary to start advocating for those changes, volunteering with the Sexual Health Resource Center, contributing to the drafting of Queen's first sexual violence policy, and leading the creation of the bystander intervention program. In those instances, it wasn't that I had all the answers or heaps of experience, but rather a willingness to imagine things as different than they were at present, and a supportive community of fellow advocates, each with their own furrowed brow, who were asking the same questions and driving for the same change. This has become a touchstone for me one I've returned to often in a year where everything felt so very different. My hope is that this is what the Tricolour Award can represent for you, a reminder of the value of a furrowed brow, a reminder that as you move on to new jobs, new schools, new cities, and you find yourself questioning how you fit in and how you can contribute, that being curious and critical is unlikely to steer you wrong. Just look at what you achieved for your community these last few years. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those thoughtful words, Claire. And again, that thank you will lead me right into my next thank you, as I'd like to thank everyone who helped ensure that our 2021 inductees got the recognition that they so richly deserved. Thank you again to all of the nominators and everyone who wrote a letter of reference in support of those inductees. And I would like to thank the members of the 2021 Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award Selection Committee. Members of that committee included Ryan Chen, Joshua Chung, Michael Cochimiglio, Asil Hawa, Callista Jones, Alyssa Nascimento, Jordan Nensi, Julia Newcomb, Alexandra Samoilov, Sugandha Sharma, and Julia Testani. And with that, I would like to welcome the 2021 inductees to the Tricolour Society. Jody Bosch, Con Ed 16, PhD 2022, Shohana Bennett Dwara, Art Sci 21, Catherine Haba, Art Sci 21, Nicole Osiande, Computing 21, Michaela Patterson, Nursing Sciences 21, and Kelly Whaling Zoe, Computing 21.
Hi everyone, my name's Diana. I graduated from Queens in 2015. Hi Jody! Let me start by saying congratulations. I am so proud of you. You deserve it. I met Jody in first year. We were both placed at Chown Residence and we have been best friends ever since. Jody is deserving of this Tricolour Award because there is no one who puts bettering her community at her higher priority than she does, and it shows through all of the amazing work that she has done since she was a literal teenager. So if I were to describe Jody in one word, it would be selfless. She always puts her friends and the people she loves first, and I'm so proud that now everyone else gets to see that and recognize it, and we get to celebrate it. So congratulations, Jodes. Love you.
Before I move on, I just want to correct, I thought my notes were wrong. Kelly is a part of the commerce class. Having said that, I'm going to move a little bit more and tell you more about Jody. So when people talk about Jody Bosch, a phrase you hear surprisingly often is "she saved my life." During her years as a residence don at Banry Hall, Jody was known as empathetic, compassionate, and an angel on earth who cares deeply about everyone she meets and goes out of her way to make people feel valued, heard, and cared for. Not only did she step forward to help anytime she noticed someone in need, she always went the extra mile to follow up with them afterwards. Jody has always been acutely aware of invisible illnesses and passionate not just about educating people of their existence, but also about creating resources for students and reducing the stigma around asking for help. At Banry Hall, she created a small program to support students with invisible illnesses that grew into a campus-wide event and helped hundreds of students realize that they are not alone. Also at Banry Hall, Jody learned that several of her students had experienced the loss of a close friend. Not only did she provide them with emotional support, she led a coordinated response with the university chaplain and the resident outreach counselors and offered an informal drop-in peer group for them. Although she is now a registered psychotherapist, Jody returned to Queens to earn her doctorate. And when the pandemic struck, she sprang into action, providing volunteer counseling and custom workshops for Teachers College and educational grad students, and connecting them with any resources they might need. She also started and facilitated a grief support group, a safe space where students can connect through their isolation and talk about how the pandemic is challenging them physically, emotionally, and socially, as well as a bereavement group for people who lost a family member to COVID-19. She also reached out to frontline workers, both at Queens and in the Kingston community, offering them greatly needed counseling services and effectively doubling her working hours so she could help as many people as possible. Last year, Jody was the only person on the scene when 2 Queens students were injured in a car accident. She administered CPR and managed the situation on her own for almost 30 minutes while waiting for paramedics to arrive. Not only did she save their lives, she also recognized the emotional challenges they would face during their recovery and started a support group for people who were involved in car accidents. For the services she's initiated, the leadership she's shown, and all the lives she has touched, it is my pleasure to welcome Jody Bosch into the Tricolour Society.
Thank you so much for those kind words. I am very grateful and humbled to be here among such inspiring and wonderful people tonight. And I just feel fortunate to have been part of the Queens community for the greater part of the last 10 years. And I'm lucky for the experiences that I've had. As you've heard, some of them were easier than others, but I think every experience that you have leads to the emotions that you have, the experiences, and the opportunities you have moving forward. So I'm very thankful for my first fans of my family, my future family that I'm lucky to be entering into very soon, my loving fiance, and my friends and supporters who have been here throughout every single opportunity that I've had. And I'm just very thankful for each opportunity, each moment, and each individual who's been part of that. And I'm among the lucky ones who has another year left at Queens to hopefully see what comes next. So thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel, and I recently graduated from Queen's University's biochemistry program. I just want to start by saying a huge thank you to all the organizers and family members who have put time in to support the outstanding individuals who we are celebrating tonight. I want to say a special hello and congratulations to Shosh. I have known her for over 3 years now, and it has been the utmost pleasure. We both served as executive members on the Queens Black Tricolour Association since 2018, and Shosh has become like a sister to me in that service. I have always loved having her on the team, and her efforts alone are a major contribution to the multitude of sponsors that the club has today. I am sure that you all know Shosh's accomplishments and extracurricular activities very well by now. But apart from that, I believe she is very well deserving of the Tricolour Award because of her genuine passion to support others in any way she can. Once again, congratulations, Shosh. I hope you know how proud I am of your efforts and accomplishments in making Queen's University a better place. Also, a huge congratulations to each and every award winner here tonight. You should all be very proud of the work you have done, and I am honored to have addressed such an outstanding group of award recipients.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth, and I was the primary nominator for Shohana Dwara. I am so grateful that, over the time that I've gotten to know Shohana, not only have I known her as a friend, but I've also gotten to see all of the work that she's done in the communities that she's a part of. One of my favorite things that Shohana does when advancing diversity and inclusion is that she takes on some of the smaller habits that end up building to create a larger problem within the Queens community. And so I'm really grateful that this award has given her the recognition that she deserves, because a lot of those projects are not so glamorous and publicized. Even though I haven't met the other inductees into the Tricolour Society personally, I am so proud of all of you, and I hope that this ceremony does the job of honoring you guys and your accomplishments.
Okay, so you're not actually familiar with Shohana's accomplishments yet, so now I will make sure that you all are. As a woman of color on the Queen's campus, Shohana Bennett Dwara is often used to being seen before she is heard. So she vowed to herself that she would never be silent. Guided by a passion for equity work and a vision for the Queen's community where every student feels safe and welcome, Shohana began with a determination to learn and grow from the challenges that she herself faces. Her passion has inspired her to work tirelessly toward a future where the barriers she has experienced exist only as a reminder of what can be accomplished through the power of passion and perseverance. Johanna's work has been the most visible in her position of undergraduate trustee, where she represents all undergraduate students and ensures that the voices of QT BIPOC students are heard at the highest levels of university governance. While serving as undergraduate trustee, she formed the Provincial Student Board of Governors and Trustees to build community and share information among student trustees across the province, creating a powerful network for the next generation of leaders. At the same time, she worked to build community among equity-seeking groups at Queen's, founding the Queen's University Advocacy Coalition to create a common platform to discuss their concerns and work together to make change at Queen's. She has also served as the voice for QT BIPOC students on the Queen's Student Diversity Project and the Queen's Black Pre-Medical Association. And she kept EDII issues at the forefront as a member of the Student Campus Climate Survey Working Group and the Global Engagement Steering Committee. For her refusal to remain silent when there is important EDII work to be done, and for showing up powerfully and ensuring that all of the people who seek equity in our community are both seen and heard, we are honored to welcome Shohanna Bennett-Dwara into the Tricolour Society.
Thank you. This feels so surreal. I think I'm just really thankful and grateful to have had the experience that I have had at Queen's. Like a lot of other people have said, it definitely came with its challenges, but I couldn't be more happy with the way everything came together. I want to give a special thanks to the planning committee for actually bringing this whole thing together. I know it's a really weird time in the world right now, and I know it took a lot of effort, but I'm sure all of you nominees are so thankful to be able to celebrate, even if it's virtually. I also want to thank all of my friends and my family for, their undying support, for pushing me and believing in me, and seeing a vision for what I could achieve before I could even see it myself. And I also want to thank the work of all the people that came before me, because I couldn't have done any of the things that I got the opportunity to do without being able to build off and continue this stuff that they started. So I may not know them, but I wouldn't be here without them. So thank you. And thank you to all the people that I worked with at Queen's as well. And I'm happy to have had a role in making the Queen's community, better for the next generation of Queen's students that are going to come through here. Yeah.
Hi folks, my name is Kiana Lekwe. I am a Queen's University alumni and graduate. I graduated back in 2019 with a Bachelor of Arts in Global Development Studies and a minor in Religions. Hello ma'am, congratulations on getting the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you. But I have to be honest, I'm not even surprised, because since I met you back in the day on QBAS, you've always stood out to me as someone who had so much promise. I applaud you for your intelligence, for your courage, for your strength, and for your ambition towards advocacy and diversity projects at Queen's University and outside of the institution. You've been my little sister since day one, so today I feel like, a proud big sister, a proud mama, and I hope you take a moment today to really soak in all of the amazing things that you've done at Queen's and will continue to do afterwards. I love you so much, girl, and I'm so proud of you again. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, my name is Joseph Haladimeji, my pronouns are he, they, and I'm a recent graduate from Queen's University. I am making this video on behalf of Catherine Heba. I think Catherine is very deserving of the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award because of all the work that she's done from first year, stepping onto this campus. She had a goal, she had a mission, and she accomplished that. Being very, very involved in different advocacy and equity-based clubs, while also being basically a 4.0 GPA student, and ensuring that her social relations are still very, very tight. She's a very well-rounded student who puts equity and advocacy first, and ensuring that everyone in the space is welcomed. And I think that's very, very evident of a student leader and someone who's deserving of the Agnes Benidickson Award. I think you can see it in a lot of the work that we did, especially within the Black community. Being president of QBAS, especially in a virtual year, she was so able to have her team make an impact in the Queens community and provide safe space for Black identified students on campus. And that's very, very important. I love you so much, Catherine. I'm so proud of you and everything that you've done, and I hope that this award brings you a little bit of peace and shows that you're loved. Thank you.
My face was smiling. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm very excited to tell everybody more about Catherine. So people that know her say that she's a natural leader. So it should come as no surprise, as you just heard, that she has been leading since she arrived at Queen's. She has led formally and informally on the Queen's Black Academic Society and the African Caribbean Students Association. She served at the Queen's International Center and on the committee for the new chair in Black Studies. And most prominently, she served as president of the Queen's Black Academic Society. As she led, Catherine developed a reputation as a formidable advocate and, as one of her nominators wrote, an unstoppable leader within her community who serves with dignity, sophistication, professionalism, and grace. Catherine has dedicated her energy to challenging systemic inequities and creating safe spaces, initiatives, and events for Black students at Queen's. And as she did, she became known for taking on projects that seemed nearly impossible and turning them into successes. She created a Google Youth Mentorship Program, and she organized events, teach-ins, and cultural shows, all while she was in her second year. She also created the groundbreaking Embracing Your Blackness, a networking event that showcased the beauty and talent of the Queen's Black community. In the wake of George Floyd's murder, Catherine became one of the key voices in the generational effort of establishing a space for Blackness to exist and thrive at Queen's. She led an online campaign that raised $35,000 from the Queen's administration and clubs and departments for Black Lives Matter, the Black Mental Health Alliance, and other groups that uplift and amplify Black voices. She also worked hard to enhance mental health supports for Black students and increase funding for Black student-led programs. And yet, for all that she's accomplished, those who know her say she leads with optimism, fearlessness, humility, poise, and grace. Those qualities are in evidence in Catherine's own words. Queen's gave me the gift of community and empowerment to enact change, which has allowed me to learn so much and lead by remaining service-minded and attentive to the needs and well-being of the most marginalized. For her exceptional leadership and her impressive accomplishments, it is my privilege to welcome Catherine Haba into the Tricolour Society.
Thank you, everybody. It's an absolute honor, and I'm so humbled to be a member of the Tricolour Society. I would like to start off by saying how grateful I am to God and to my family for really instilling in me at a young age and helping me find my passion within my community, within helping my community and being closer to others. To be a member of the Tricolour Society, honestly, I feel this is an honor that I share with my whole community. The award for me, I mentioned, is like a love letter from my community. During my time at Queen's, one of the ways that I've remained so engaged and also been able to overcome a lot of adversity has been through giving to my community, through engaging with different members and really soaking up a lot of strength, support from my mentors, from the QBAS family, which has been a huge part of my life, from my friends who have been an amazing network of support and love. And with that, I'd just like to thank my nominators. I'd like to thank the preparation committee, thank you so much for making us feel special, even though we're not able to be in person, and bask in the immense joy that we're all feeling on our own ends. I am really happy to be here with you all and be able to celebrate the amazing accomplishment of all the people that have talked and been highlighted so far, and the amazing people that are still left. So with that, I'd just like to say thank you so much, everybody, and I'm very grateful.
Hi, my name is Nana Watson. I am going into my 4th year of computer science, and I just want to say a few things about Tricolour Society. Nicole is someone who deeply cares about her close friends and her community. Everything she does to stand up for her community and the people in the community, and she makes sure that everyone has a safe space around them, whether it be in res or in her classes or just around campus. Nicole has led several initiatives throughout her roles in residence in the School of Computing and her role as a president of the Queens Student Diversity Project that has rippled throughout the Queens campus and leading positive change and creating a safe space for students that are currently here and showing students that want to come to Queens the diversity that we have on campus. If I had to describe Nicole in one word, it would be groundbreaking. Throughout the past decade or so, there hasn't been any student who has led so much change as she has in Queens University, and not just change that's felt throughout the students that are currently here, but change that will be felt throughout students that probably want to come to Queens and will come to Queens in the future.
Hi, I'm Yara Hussein. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going into my 3rd year of biochemistry. Hi, Nicole. Congratulations on receiving the Tricolour Award. I'm incredibly proud of you and all that you've accomplished in your time at Queens. As the founder of the Queens Student Diversity Project, or QSDP for short, Nicole's extracurricular involvements have influenced a change in the narrative about the lack of diversity on Queens campus, and through her initiatives, Nicole has inspired many students of marginalized groups to come to Queens and find their communities here in the university, me being one of those students. If I had to describe Nicole in one word, it would be influential, and that's because Nicole has inspired a change and improvement in equity work, diversity, and inclusion, which has been influential in many students' experiences these past 4 years. Nicole has left a remarkable print at the university, and I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Tricolour Award. Again, congratulations, Nicole, and all the best.
As you just heard, Nicole Siande is a doer. She is the kind of person who sees a problem and immediately works towards its solution. When she arrived at Queens in the fall of 2017, she realized that the university had a long way to go if it was going to achieve real equity, diversity, and inclusivity. Rather than wait for these changes to happen, she worked towards the change herself, starting the Queens Student Diversity Project during her first month on campus.
Wow.
Her goal was to change the narrative, celebrate the diversity that does exist at Queens, mobilize a community around this vital cause, and in the process, give people a sense of belonging that didn't exist here previously. What she built is a truly safe and inclusive space, a place where students of all backgrounds and abilities can feel like they belong. But the QDSP is just the beginning of Nicole's contributions. She has also served as the Computer Science LLC Don, and this year as the Residence Life Assistant. She represented her first-year class in Queens Women in Computing, and she served as mentorship coordinator for CompSA, where she piloted the first peer-to-peer mentorship program. But it was on the EDI stage where Nicole's creativity, ingenuity, kindness, and charisma has shown the brightest. In addition to the QDSP, Nicole organized a university-wide Black History Month cookout to unite Black students from different countries and cultures. And she worked tirelessly to help recruit Black students from underrepresented high schools and educate them on how they can be a part of the solution. Her nominators describe her as brilliant, gracious, warm, driven, but humble, and able to make everyone feel comfortable and welcome. In the words of one of her nominators, "Are we where we want to be? No, not yet, but we are better because of Nicole's leadership." Because of Nicole's leadership, vision, mentorship, and entrepreneurial spirit, We are proud to welcome her into the Tricolour Society.
That's nice. Wow.
Oh, is this where I talk? Mom, can you, I think there's a little bit of echo. Just leave the, anyways, thank you so much to my nominators. I want to say a big thank you to everyone at the undergraduate admissions and recruitment office, all the professors that allowed me to come do little chats to people to bring out our events. I want to thank all of the people that were founding members for Queenston Diversity Project, because I couldn't have done it without you guys. I think someone said it earlier. I want to say thank you to all my friends who took my shit, really and truly, who stayed with me to like till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., planning the conferences and all of that stuff. I want to say a big thank you to Nana for always helping me, always helping us do photos for our events. I can say a big thank you to my mom for always helping me. I almost didn't come to Queens because of the race issue. And she was just like, Nicole, you'll figure it out. And I did, with the help of so many other people. And yeah, I also want to mention that, like, this year for 2021, there's 4 Black women who got this award. And I feel like that's something that I'm really glad to be a part of. Like, it's no surprise that the class of 2021 would be the class that would have 4 Black women to be inducted into the Tricolour Society. It's really just shows that we put in a lot into the school and to getting where we are. And so I just want to say thank you. And yeah, bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Alma and I'm a 3rd-year nursing student and a good friend of Michaela Patterson. Michaela, if you're watching this, congratulations! I would say that Michaela is very deserving of this Tricolour Award because she has been fostering diversity and inclusivity within her own values since the beginning of her university career. I remember before I even started my nursing program in the summer, I posted this post on Facebook and I was like, hi, my name's Alma, like I'm going into nursing. And she was one of the first people that commented and she was like, welcome to nursing. Let me know if you need anything. And she was just so warm and welcoming when I started as well. And it is so important to have those type of people like within university, especially in like programs that are so hard, just like nursing.
Hi everybody, my name is Catherine and I just wanted to take a moment to talk about my amazing friend Michaela Patterson. So I am so overjoyed, Michaela, that you're one of the people that we get to celebrate today, and I am honestly not surprised. I also wanted to take this moment to thank you on behalf of all those who have felt the impact of your work, myself being one of them. I want to thank you for the legacy you're leaving, one that is marked by your tireless work, and also the fact that you never once accepted anything short of the resources you knew students deserved and needed in order to be successful. I want to thank you for loving and caring for our community enough to always be encouraging us and advocating on the side of the university for structures to support well-being. And with that, I also just want to tell you how much I love you and how proud I am, and hope that you're taking and soaking in all this love from us. Congratulations again.
Oh, my name is Sherry Schmidt-Stutzman, and I want to say hello and congratulations to Michaela Patterson on receiving the Agnes Benidickson Tricolour Award. I had the pleasure of being Michaela's clinical instructor and professor during her 3rd and 4th year of her undergraduate nursing program at Queen's School of Nursing. I would describe Michaela as thoughtful, compassionate, passionate. She demonstrates integrity, and she's also very smart. She is a very natural and empathetic leader, and she encompasses all the qualities that I think are essential to being a good nurse, a good leader, and a wonderful human being. Congratulations, Michaela, on your award. It is very well deserved, and I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see where you continue to go and thrive with your career and life path.
Okay, it's so hard to follow up these messages, but I'm going to try to tell you a little bit about Michaela. So when Michaela Patterson arrived at Queen's and didn't see many people like herself at orientation week, she decided to become a future orientation week leader so that other incoming BIPOC students wouldn't have to feel the same way. It was the beginning of her quest to leave Queens a better place than she found it. Since then, Michaela has dedicated her time and considerable energy to creating a safe environment for Black students, amplifying the voices of other equity-seeking groups, providing resources to allies, and continuous learning for the entire community. Described by those who know her as a caring, tenacious, natural leader with remarkable drive and charisma, Michaela has made her mark in the School of Nursing, the Faculty of Health Sciences, and the broader Queens community. In the School of Nursing, she served on the Community Health Initiative for 2 years. She co-founded Edison, a program that ensures that the School of Nursing maintains equitable hiring principles. She also helped create Charm, a simulation game for students that teaches microaggression management in the clinical setting. But Michaela is perhaps best known as the Vice President of the Queens Black Academic Society, where her many accomplishments, including launching a remote mentorship program that pairs first-year Black students with an upper-year mentor to welcome them warmly into the Queens community. Regardless of what she is doing, Michaela impresses those around her with her flexible, compassionate leadership and her deep interest in others. As one of her nominators said, "No one knows Michaela Patterson in passing. She is the type of person who greets you by name and remembers a topic you once discussed and shares something new that she has discovered about it." For her selfless leadership and her profound impact, it is our pleasure to welcome Michaela Patterson into the Tricolour Society.
Sorry if you can hear my mom in the background. Thank you so much. This award just means so much to me. I know when I first came to Queens and I just saw that I was the only Black person in my class, and if you know me, you know I talk about this a lot. My mom, she just gave me the courage to keep going, and my sisters, they always supported me. So a huge thank you to my mom and my sisters. A huge thank you to my partner, Emmanuel. He stays up with me when I'm working on things late for QBAS, and he always supports me. And a huge, huge thank you to my friends who happen to also be winning this award. They push me to continue and just be stronger and to do more and change the Queens community. And to me, this award means breaking the glass ceiling, defying the odds. This is the year where there are 4 Black women winning this award. I'm the first Black student to be winning this award within the School of Nursing. And I'm just so proud of myself and so proud of the other inductees. And I just wish you all the best.
Hi, it's Mofi here, the Diversity and Inclusivity Coordinator at the Smith Commerce Program. And hello, Kelly, congrats on this major recognition. If I could describe Kelly in one word, I would describe her as uncompromising. I think, coming into each space, Kelly brings her true self, who at the core is about care. It's about understanding oppression and how it marginalizes people. And in whatever space she's in, she is very keen to educate, but also bring people along in that journey. So I would say uncompromising, because you leave each space knowing who Kelly is about, and that doesn't change each time. I think about how prior to Stolen by Smith, there wasn't a lot of space for students to openly share about the challenges going on at Queens, especially around racism, homophobia, and other forms of oppression and discrimination. So Stolen by Smith really gave many students the space to openly speak about their experiences, but at the same time, it also gave practitioners like myself, as well as programs, to really take a look at how they operate and how they continue to marginalize students. And speaking on behalf of the Commerce Program, Stolen by Smith has really directly impacted how we've changed some of our policies, our practices, and what we hope to offer students in the future. I think that, to have somebody that has put up themselves for scrutiny, for so much harm, put themselves up in a vulnerable position for the betterment of the university, for the betterment of many students' experiences. I think that that is worth recognizing, and many students like Kelly tend to be unrecognized. So I believe that for those reasons and for the major impact that has been offered at our university, she is very much deserving of this.
Okay, again, it will be impossible to follow up everything that was just said, but I'll start with something that one of Kelly's other nominators said. They described her as a young woman with fire inside of her, an advocate, activist, a passionate, empathetic leader who leads with bravery and compassion. Kelly has become one of the most influential and impactful students in Queen's history. Last summer, her Instagram account, stolen by Smith, created a safe, anonymous platform for students, making them feel validated, valued, and seen, often for the first time. By documenting and sharing experiences of discrimination and sexual violence, Kelly started a movement, not just at Queen's, but across Canada. There have been subsequent Instagram accounts at other universities, but with more than 7,000 disclosures, almost 400 posts, and 12,700 followers, Stolen by Smith was the prototype, and Kelly was its leader, persevering fearlessly, often amid intense personal backlash. More than just a social media account, Stolen by Smith was a catalyst, sparking introspection, discussion, and ultimately, meaningful change at Smith School of Business. The results of Kelly's efforts include more paid work opportunities for QT BIPOC students, more needs-based scholarships for low-income students, and concerted efforts by administrators and alumni to reform the admissions process and address and correct systemic racism. Kelly has said that her activism is in service for future generations, but current Queen's students have also benefited from her tenacity, dedication, and unapologetic advocacy. In addition to her best-known accomplishments, Kelly initiated and implemented the reusable container program that is in use campus-wide. She led the Commerce Society's first ever Pride celebration. She organized online community care events to provide marginalized students with a safe virtual social space. And she played a key role in the team that worked to have the law school building renamed. As another one of her nominators wrote, "Without Kelly, the community of activists at Queen's would be much less powerful. For everything she has accomplished, for current and future generations at Queen's and across Canada, we are thrilled to welcome Kelly Wei-Ling Zhou into the Tricolour Society."
Thank you very much for that gracious welcome, Alex. Also, thank you to Mofi for here. Your kind words are always motivating and just so kind. I want to take this moment to thank everybody who supported me to this graduation day today. My 4 years at Queen's, as many people know, have not been the most straightforward path, but I'm grateful for the adversities that I've overcome because I think it's helped me for the first time in my life truly understand what community means. I've never had people show up for me the way the queer, marginalized, racialized community at Queen's does. I want to recognize that any of the work I've done would not have been possible without the support of my closest friends, Asia Rowden, Shreya Roy, Jane Mao, Tia Wilson. I also want to take this moment to recognize that so much of the work done on campus is continuously led by marginalized students. I'm thinking about how Michaela, Nicole, and Kat, I've had the privilege of seeing the work they do in residence and on campus. The ways in which they continue to inform my own learning is an act of labor, an act of love that I will always be grateful for. I'm truly honored to be here alongside them today. I also want to take a moment to recognize all of the professors and the staff who have been doing for years without the recognition they deserve or the resources and support they deserve. I'm thinking specifically about Anne Deere in the Smith School of Business, who has supported Indigenous students for years before this, who is finally, I think, hopefully with the help of someone like Smith, able to make more resources available with less challenges and hopefully increase the amount of Indigenous students who are able to come to the school. Also thinking about Mofi, who continuously shows up in every single way that she can for all of the students in Smith and on Queens campus, who deserves so much more recognition that she is currently given. I'm thinking about all the professors who got in here today, specifically in the past year, Professor Karen Lawford has been an incredible mentor and guide and a form of guidance in my life, and I'm grateful for her as well. Before I leave, I just want to say that Queens has been a challenging experience for many marginalized students before me. I'm sure it will continue to be challenging for many after. That being said, if you look at the panel of Tricolour Award winners this year, I think it's an understanding that Queens is changing and hopefully will continue to change. And all people who don't win awards, all people who don't graduate Queens University, hopefully this space will be a safer space for them in the future. Thank you.
So now I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of the Tricolour Society inductees for 2020 and 2021. I hope I speak on behalf of everyone who's watching either now or later when I say it is a tremendous honor to be able to recognize these folks who are shaping the university through everyday actions and through these immense programming changes. I also want to thank everybody who joined us today to continue to hold space in celebrating these folks. I hope you all leave feeling charged by the energy that they bring to their work every day. That is why we are celebrating them. And we're just about ready to move on to the less formal part of the evening where you can congratulate everyone yourselves directly. The inductees are going to be headed to assigned breakout rooms and they'll be there until 9 p.m. And I hope that you'll take the time to drop in and visit with them. You can stay for as long as you'd like and leave at any point. The breakout rooms are set up in such a way that you can move freely between rooms. So if you require support from any point, just say so, stay in the main room and somebody from our event team will help you move to wherever you want to be. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Congratulations again to everybody that we're celebrating tonight.